And one last point. So I know we want to wrap up, but the Keynesian stuff that you talk about is so mind blowing for people that don't
It is
know, and
mind blowing.
that's basically what everything sexual education is based off in this country. And I remember when I looked that up. For those of you who don't know, he was basically letting pedophiles rape children and having them document like their response. It was an infant at one point, like an 18-month-old, and he was like, "Oh, see, kids love having sex because they're moaning, even though they were probably screaming." And that is the guy that we base a lot of pillars of our education and sexual understanding in this country and around the world off.
Well, it's like Nancy Pelosi said it herself too. They create the fake history, the fake document, and then they market it. What she called, I can't remember what she said, but when we lie, here's how we market it to all
Yeah.
the news. And so all they do is they have their fake studies, and then all they have to do is get it into the public school or another
American.
public institution, and then it's gold forever.
Yeah.
And their goal is to have pedophile to legalize pedophilia,
Yeah. That is the end game, I
so
think.
they don't get caught.
That's definitely one of the future goals they have is the normalization of pedophilia, and you see that on a global scale right now. I mean, even places like the UN are normalizing these ideas where it's like, okay, let's not be so judgmental of child prostitution. There's no such thing as a child prostitute. There's kids being sold into sex slavery. There's no such thing as a child prostitute. It doesn't happen. That doesn't just occur on its own. That's something that's a byproduct of a crime. It's child rape that's going on, and some adult is making money off of it. And so, all these things, it's very clear what their goals are. Now we need to make our goals clear, and that's saving this next generation. And I think that, the very fact that modern sexual education is underpinned by the ideas of Alfred Kinsey and his most famous, sort of research, which was the interviewing of known pedophiles to interview them about the amount of times kids orgasmed in the rapist's opinion. That underpins modern sexual education. And Alfred Kinsey, to this day, is not reviled. He has a statue at the University of Indiana. So this is somebody who has been able to carry on as a respected academic despite carrying out some of the most horrific research you could imagine. And that's the reality of sexual education in America. And so parents need to wake up.
Blow your mind.
And it should blow everybody's mind. Parents need to wake up, and they need to be involved in their kids' education and their curriculum to ensure that this vile evil is not a part of it.
And it needs to continue all the way through college, because they got to get rid of a lot of these colleges based in pedophilia and rape too. Anyway,
half of the colleges teach crap that nobody's going to use too. That's the thing. Like, I don't know what we as parents are thinking, sending our kids for like basket weaving feminism. There's not a job for that. Okay. Like half these degrees they have at college now, it's like nobody actually does that as a job. Like the origins of Native American, AIDS crisis, like that's not a job. And we need people, and it's micro, it's like down to the micro now. It's like, Native American AIDS crisis for people who like bobcats and have watched a beaver jump off the dam. This is the
101
people that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know that
the
they
left
exist,
loves
but it's
to
not a job.
factionalize on every issue because as they factionalize, they are making money on the problem. They never want to solve any problem or help any people. They just
it's also a way to isolate.
Yank.
Which is
it's a big. The left. Sometimes I just go. It's just upside down. The worst part of capitalism. Nothing based on goods and services or supply and demand. Forget all that.
Yeah.
Well, it's straight up communism. Here's why. Because this is most of it's happening through state schools or private institutions, universities who take state money. And so what do? You've got all these jobs or all of these studies that are literally insane. Nobody actually cares about things. I don't even know what they actually teach in these classes because it's just so ludicrous. The concepts of them are insane. There's not a job for it. But there is a job. It happens at the university level. So you can study this crazy subject of like underwater basket weaving for feminists who wish they were mermaids. And they will make a job for you at the university to be a professor of underwater mermaid basket weaving feminism, and you'll get $200,000 a year in full benefits or whatever. And it's all funded by taxpayers.
It's all up on the yank. Everything they do is for the yank to get on the public money.
Yep.
to
100%.
steal our money. Why don't
Well
you just
said.
get a
100%.
damn job? Get a damn job. Do some volunteer work. Make yourself useful. Stop
Yeah.
being disuseful. It really makes me
I
mad.
do wish it would be really fun if they didn't if they weren't able to recognize us, if you and I were able to sit in on one of these like crazy classes at a college where it's like,
Let's do it.
like one of the really ludicrous ones, and we could just sit in on it and listen to the lunacy.
Go in
and be able to,
disguise.
like,
Let's
kind of
film that.
Yeah, we
maybe
could wear
snap
wigs
some
and
people out of
stuff.
this.
Let's
I
do
mean,
that for
could be
real. You should
fun.
be a
I think
professor,
we could
Mom.
snap a couple of them out of this.
Let's try it. As we got
Well, we
to save the
try.
world.
I said what I want to do is dress up like a man and go read the Bible to kids at the schools.
They wouldn't let you. They would not
No,
let
they
you
wouldn't
in.
let me. I know they wouldn't.
They would stop you then if it had anything to do with reading the Bible to them. They would stop you. Okay,
They're fine with the man dressing.
Honestly, that says everything right there. That if you tried in your own gender as a woman you are, to read a Bible to kids, they would stop you. But if you dressed up as a man and you read them a book like one of the ones we exposed in the film where it's actual porn that's in public schools, they would applaud you and say you're a courageous hero.
Yep.
That says everything. They're sick.
It does.
I just want to go in there and rescue those kids and slap all their parents across the face to wake them up. What are they thinking?
Well, we can wake them up.
They're not.
We'll wake them up with the movie instead of slapping them. We'll wake them up with the movie.
Well, it's as
Let
good as a
Robby
slap.
do it.
It's about 20 slaps in the face, that movie. I tell everybody, go be sure to see it. It's just a masterpiece, a master class
Absolutely.
in unmasking the beast.
Yeah. Facts.
Thank you.
That's what it is.
That was the goal. Unmask the beast, unmask the evil, and make people face it. And it's why at the very beginning of the doc, we say, if you want to be lukewarm, basically, you want to continue this lukewarm lifestyle, don't watch the movie, because if you move forward, you watch this, you're going to have no excuses not to stand up and be a warrior for our kids, because you really have no excuse. Once you watch it, you have no excuse after that.
No, and you'll want to.
Oh, you see.